Yeah, yeah.
Holy shit.
Look, look at that. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some mysterious things caught on camera. But as always, before we dive in, remember to hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this. Our first bizarre clip of the day comes directly from NASA. On April 19th, 2022, an enormous unidentified object was seen hovering near the sun. The object looks as though it's draining plasma directly from the surface of the sun. Whatever it is, it remains in place for several hours, then just speeds off into space, leaving no trace at all. Interestingly, 10 years prior, in March 2012, a similar object was spotted near the sun. It too appears to be drinking plasma from the sun. It then speeds away into the darkness of space. Some have estimated the size of the object to be several times larger than planet Earth. Naturally, as the two pieces of footage went viral, many have speculated it might be an enormous alien mothership refueling. Counter-arguments wondered how an object that big could possibly move through our solar system without being openly detected. Some commenters said that an alien race might be billions of years ahead of the human race in terms of technology, and it's quite possible that we can't even fathom their appearance, so perhaps they move freely around the universe and we're just unable to detect them. However, NASA's official statement called the event a prominence. A prominence is a large bright feature that extends outward from the surface of the sun. It's made up of hot plasma, which is a mixture of charged particles, and is held in place by the sun's magnetic field. They can sometimes erupt and release their plasma into the solar atmosphere, a phenomenon known as a coronal mass ejection, or a CME. CMEs can have significant impacts on Earth, including disruptions to satellite and radio communications, and can sometimes even lead to auroras at high latitudes. So what do you think? Are we just witnessing a so-called prominence, or is there more to this bizarre sighting? Let me know your theories on this one in the comments down below. Jim Sullivan was a singer-songwriter who's best known for his 1969 album UFO, which features his most famous song, Jeannie's Getting Married. However, despite his talent and success as a musician, Sullivan mysteriously disappeared in March of 1975. On March 4th, 1975, Sullivan left his home in Venice, California to drive to Nashville, Tennessee to further his music career. He had recently signed a contract with a record label and was planning on recording a new album. However, he never made it to Nashville. On March 7th, Sullivan's car was found abandoned in the desert near Santa Rosa, New Mexico. The car was in good condition and there was no signs of a struggle or foul play. Sullivan's wallet with all of his identification was found in the car, but there was no sign of Sullivan himself. Despite extensive search efforts, Sullivan was never found and his disappearance remains a mystery to this day. Some theories suggest he may have become disoriented and wandered off into the desert, where he eventually died of exposure. Others believe he may have been the victim of foul play, but the most intriguing theory suggests he may have been abducted by aliens. Sullivan's album, titled UFO, features lyrics that seem to predict his own disappearance, and repeatedly refers to aliens and UFOs. Close friends who knew Sullivan best noted that it was strange his guitar was left in the abandoned car. They said that if Jim was to go anywhere, it would be with his guitar by his side. Despite exhaustive searches, no evidence of Sullivan was ever found. It's as though he wandered into the desert and simply vanished.
What were you pointing?
In mid-2022, Reddit user Corian was in Kandersteg, Switzerland when they spotted something mysterious floating through the sky. Take a look.
Yeah.
Holy sh**.
Look at that. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, I have no clue.
At first glance, it almost looks like a person floating through the air.
Look at that. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Over a series of short clips, the OP and his friends speculate on what the object might actually be.
Oh, what? What the f***?
No. Gotta find out. No, it's not getting any closer though.
The group monitored the figure for over an hour, but were at a loss to explain the strange object.
Okay, so
What the? I see that.
originally
Yeah,
see it,
yeah,
I
that's
see
it. That's it.
but right now we're trying
It's hard to
find
see
a
right now.
Oh
yeah.
reasonable explanation. Like,
Here's some still photos the OP managed to take. When the clips hit Reddit, speculation ran rife. Everything from aliens to a floating superhuman and even a man wearing a jetpack was suggested. More grounded theories said it might just be a mylar balloon or some kind of windsock captured in the breeze. So I'll throw this one out to you, the viewers. What do you think this mysterious object could actually be? Let your theories rip in the comments down below. On September 21st, 2006, NASA released a still image that was captured in space that no one's been able to fully explain. A strange white object can be seen floating through space. It almost looks like a jellyfish in the ocean. The photo was taken by astronaut Daniel Burbank at around 11 AM on board the space shuttle Atlantis. NASA's official statement said it could possibly be some sort of small debris, but ultimately they couldn't say for sure, leaving the object unidentified. So what do you think this could be? A strange white veil just floating through space certainly piques one's interest, but I'd love to hear what you think it could be in the comments down below. This next one's been duplicated, its titles altered and details changed numerous times over the years, so it's hard to pinpoint where and when exactly it was captured. But what it's captured is certainly eyebrow raising. Take a look. An odd-shaped object appears to be spinning in mid-air. It's a rusty brown colour and it almost looks to have a flashing light in the middle of it. Unfortunately, the footage is shaky, and that's because the object appears to be extremely far away. We can see this when the camera holder eventually zooms out. The object is a mere speck in the distance. Reddit user SingKid managed to stabilize the footage for us to get a better look at. Here you can see minute details that were previously impossible to see. This version claims to have been shot in Spain over 5 years ago. But there's also a version of the exact same footage that claims it was taken in Denver, Colorado. With the titles and location changing, it does cast a little bit of doubt over the authenticity of the footage. But nevertheless, it's certainly a striking piece of video, one that does make you wonder whether aliens could indeed be surveying our planet. This next bizarre sighting comes from a webcam overlooking the coastline of Encinitas, California. Take a look. The footage was captured in May 2020 at around 10:30 p.m. In the water, you can see a flashing light. It moves several meters, then appears to fly out of the water. It then hovers in place and flashes some more, before disappearing entirely. On a side note, you can also see some nice bioluminescence in the waves in the foreground. So what's to be made of this unidentified flashing object? Strangely, the webcam was taken down the following day and this piece of footage was scrubbed from the archive. Interestingly, there have been several notable UFO sightings off the coast of California. One well-known example is a series of UFO sightings that occurred in 2004 and 5, known as the Nimitz Incident, in which several US Navy pilots reported encountering unidentified flying objects while on training exercises off the coast of California. Then in 2019, the US Department of Defense released a number of videos that showed encounters between military aircraft and unidentified objects.
Break Omaha, pick me kid, Rafael Peralta, passive ability to launch helo ASAP.
The videos, which were recorded by pilots using advanced sensors and cameras, show objects moving at high speeds and performing seemingly impossible maneuvers. Here you can see an object flying at high speed before it descends into the ocean.
Yeah, we have a 30 knot sustained wind, topside, gust of 40.
What was splashed? Splashed. Mark bearing and range.
The Department of Defense stated that the videos were released in the interest of transparency and to clear up any misconceptions about the sightings. So why is there so much UFO activity just off the coast of California? Several commenters explained that they believe there are secret alien bases hiding in our oceans across the globe. This isn't a new theory, however, as many UFO enthusiasts have speculated that aliens may have been living in our oceans for years. Back in 2014, a series of bizarre lights was spotted off the coast of Malibu in California. Shortly after the sighting, ABC 7 News interviewed paranormal expert Jimmy Church, who claims he's found a reason for the strange lights in the sky. Using Google Earth satellite imagery, Church discovered a strange oval-shaped object in the waters off the coast of Point Dume in Malibu. He believes this could be some kind of alien base secretly hiding some 6 miles off the coast of California. So do you believe in aliens? And if so, do you think they're already here hiding in secret underwater bases deep beneath the sea? Love to hear your take on this in the comments down below. Before we take a look at a famous alleged alien abduction case that took place in Mississippi, remember to hit that subscribe button, then tickle that little bell icon there and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our scary and mysterious videos. In 1973, in Pascagoula, Mississippi, something truly strange happened that's never been fully explained. According to the 2 men involved, Kelvin Parker and Charles Hickson, they were fishing on the Pascagoula River when they were approached by a UFO. The UFO was described as a football-shaped object with blue and white lights, and it hovered about 3 feet above the ground. As the UFO approached, Parker and Hickson claimed they were paralyzed and unable to move. They then reported that they were abducted by 3 humanoid creatures with lobster-like claws and slits for mouths. The creatures allegedly took the men aboard the UFO, where they were subjected to a series of physical examinations and medical procedures. The men claimed that they were released by the creatures after about an hour and that they returned home in a state of shock. They reported their encounter to the local authorities, who launched an investigation into the alleged abduction. The Pascagoula abduction gained widespread attention in the media, and it remains one of the most well-known UFO abduction cases in history. However, the incident has also been the subject of much skepticism and debate. Many people have questioned the credibility of the men's claims, and some have suggested that the incident may have been a hoax or a hallucination. The bizarre thing is, when the 2 men were detained for questioning at the local police station, the investigating officers placed the men in a room on their own and listened in on their conversation. The officers thought they would hear the men talking about how it was all just a big joke. Instead, the men appeared frightened and kept discussing the alleged alien abduction amongst themselves. They asked each other what had happened and tried to piece the whole thing together. Despite the controversy surrounding the case, the Pascagoula abduction continues to be a fascinating topic for many people, and it serves as a reminder that the universe is full of mysteries and unexplained phenomena. If you love mysterious videos like this one, then check out our other content. There's an episode there. Otherwise, there's a massive paranormal playlist right there that'll keep you entertained. Now remember to follow us on all our other socials as well. There's links in the description box below. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.